during the Alfa Romeo Giulia street scene build. This is literally like a minute and a half after I recorded that video, so I'm still sick. Still feel like crap. And for those of you who were not in that video and don't know, I feel sick and I feel like crap. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna be as energetic as usual, but I am recording for the audience. I'm here for you guys. So, if you saw the title, doing the Porsche 911 GT3 RS from Fast and Furious 5 or Fast 5. And before we get going, the one in the movie is a 2001 911 GT3 RS. This is a 2004 GT3. And the only real differences that I could see between those two cars was the headlights. This has the better headlights. Then the interior, because the GT3 has a full interior, the RS has not that. And the wing, because it doesn't have the end plates on it, and the one in the movie does. So, and that is Discord. So to tab over right now, Fast 5 GT3 RS, so I can kind of show you guys images. So, I see headlights are different, and the wing has the end plates, and the one I built does not. Other than that, same car. And that's Discord. Yeah, so let's get into it. Where was I? Oh yeah. So first I'm gonna show you guys how to make the car look this way, then give you guys the build for it, and we're gonna take it for a spin. So to begin with the paint, I don't remember which blue I used, but it was a blue color, maybe that one. Okay, well here's the, if you hit color fine tune, hue is 0.58, the saturation is 0.8, and the brightness is 1.0. Then I painted the wheels, excuse me, special colors. Scratch that. Paint group 1, special colors. And you want, whoops again. You want the aluminum brushed, and you want to tint the windows black. Everything else stays as it is. So you change the paint color to that blue, windows go black, and the paint group 1 on the wheels. Which I guess I should have done here, I'll tell you right now what wheels I have on it. Probably should have done that first, but as far as wheels, I have from the multi-piece category the Rotiform SJCs. They're probably not the same wheels from the movie, but they're the closest I could find in the game. And for vinyls, there's this GT3 RS sticker that I made, and a couple of squares here. So what I will do is, you can search by creator. Don't judge me, I made this username when I was like 8, maybe even 7, I don't know. too cheap to change it. Okay, here we are. Can I do a share code? Okay, so for the GT3 RS sticker, the share code is 518-536-106. One more time, that is 518-536-106. So you get that, and it just looks like a black square, as it does right here. But it's because part of it is mask shapes. That's why the letters are the same color as the car. So let me get rid of that. So it's gonna look like this when you put it on. And then you want to get a couple of mask shapes, some circles. And you essentially just kind of want to line the black up with the body lines of the wheel well and fender. And you get a couple of squares here. You want this, the square with the rounded edges. You want to add some skew to that. Just kind of size it up, front and back, on both bumpers. And then you do that to both sides, and you have the look. And if you don't feel like doing all of that, I did publish the design. And I've just remembered that I cannot view share code here. So yeah, don't judge me by my username. I made it when I was like 8 or 9. And I'm too much of a cheap ass to change it. Oh man, and I forgot to filter by, okay, there it is. I forgot to filter by current car, but it's right there. So dang, I already got some downloads, 66 downloads, 3 likes. Made this like a few days ago. Sweet. You can see I have loads of designs. Feel free to view my catalog. But anyway, what you're here for is the Porsche. So the share code for this is 718-760-506. One more time, 718-760-506. And yeah. Now for the build and tune. I'm gonna start with the build. Oh my god, I forgot to not look when I did that. So in the Alfa Romeo video, I mentioned that each time I switch categories and it rotates the camera, it just makes like the sick feeling so much worse. I got a headache, a little bit nauseous, but we're pulling through. So a couple things that I wanted to make sure I did was I wanted to keep the stock engine and the stock rear wheel drive with this car. We did add on a twin turbo though. That's just staying true to the car though. That's the only thing that has to do with. Anyway, stock on the bumpers the front bumper and the rear wing. Although this does add the end plates, but the rest of the spoiler isn't blue anymore. Honestly, it doesn't. For once, the Forza Air doesn't look terrible on the car. But that's not the look we're going for. We want the stock one. Then the slick race tire compound, 2 25mm front tires, 3 25mm rear tires. State it one more time on the wheels in the multi-piece category, the Rotiform SJCs, and then boom, you got the look. For the rim size, I went ahead and bumped the 18s to 19s, because if you look at the pictures from the movie and everything, this car had some pretty big wheels, so we went with 19s. The rear upgraded track width, you want it maxed out. In the front, you want just the first one, the narrowest spacer, like not stock, but the first one up. Race clutch, race 7-speed transmission, race driveline, race differential, brakes. I was like, stock suspension, but it's got race suspension stock. I remember that kind of threw me off when I was building the car too, and I forgot about it. And then I remembered it. It's a stock suspension, no roll cage, and race weight reduction. Race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race valves, race cams, race exhaust, race engine block, race twin turbo, and should have a race intercooler. Finally, race flywheel. So I got to put on that intercooler. But so while we're on this screen, this car I made top or as high S1 as I could go without crossing into S2. And excuse me, sorry about that. Like yawned a little bit. My reasoning for that is in this game, my preference is that I would rather be top of S2 or S1 than bottom of S2, because if you're bottom of S2, all the other S2 cars that are like really fast and like in the 890 or the 990s and 980s, they're going to mop the floor with you if you're pulling up like a 918 rating car. As far as if you're at 898, 899, 900, top of S1, you're just gonna mop all the low-level S2 or S1 cars, like your freaking 850s, 840s. You're just gonna mop them all. So for the tune tires, you want 23 in the front, 21 in the rear. Gearing, 2.20 final drive, and the rest is stock. Alignment, camber, negative 3.0 in the front, negative 2.0 in the rear. For the toe, 1.0 out in the front, and then negative 1.8 in for the rear. Front caster angle of 5.6. Anti-roll bars, 25 in the front, 15 in the rear. Springs, 45.4 in the front, 413.6 in the rear, with a ride height of 4.2 in the front and 3.2 in the rear. Damping, you want your rebound to be 8.3 in the front, 8.8 in the rear. For the bump, 3.2 in the front, 3.8 in the rear. Aero, you should not have this. I told you not to put this on. I don't know what you're doing if you did, because I told you not to. Then for the braking, the balance 45% towards the rear and pressure is 60. Differential, the acceleration 70 and deceleration 47. Now let's take it for a spin. I don't like doing this race. I always mess up 2 corners on this one, and we just did that one for the Alfa Romeo video, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this one. And my reasoning for picking a street scene race is that's kind of what I align Fast and Furious with, is more street scene type cars. Excuse me, rather than like the road racers, like more like the full-on race cars, or more like modified street cars. That's just my perspective. So it's a little more at home in its environment in a street scene race. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is when you're doing the vinyl groups, if you're making the livery yourself, you want to make the vinyl decals matte, not gloss. You want them to have a matte texture, which I think it's like the pause button does it in that menu, and I forgot to mention that earlier. So this car does get a little wheel spin off the line, but it does grip up very nicely shortly after. I know that I missed that. And I hate rewinding in videos. I feel like it makes me look sloppy. It makes my videos look tacky. But sometimes you just gotta do it. Because I feel sick. And I'm gonna put me missing that checkpoint up to that. Because it's not going to be my best driving performance. Like, I might not win this race. Like, I'm literally doing this just to show you guys kind of what the car can do, what it's capable of. To be honest with you, I'm not at my best right now because I'm sick. So what is with me tanking beetles? I just did that one, and I obliterated one in the video with the Alfa Romeo. Just give him a little bump, and we're just gonna, maybe not, okay. Give him a bump, and we're just gonna run right past him, but that didn't happen. Got around the Aventador, and there goes the Huracan. Boy, that back tire kind of clipped the grass right there, and it did not like it. Okay, that right there is my fault. I should have braked a little more. That's not the car's fault, that was my fault. That I went into the grass, but yeah, not my best driving performance. I don't feel good, and now that this is about to wrap up, I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to edit later. But yeah, now with all that done, let's do some donuts, because that's how we end the videos around here. Making the camera go spinny, spin, spin. Making me feel like I'm gonna throw that up. Now with all that being said and done, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video, where I will hopefully not be sick, because I record on Thursdays. So next Thursday, if I'm still sick, there's a problem. Or at least if I'm still sick with the same thing. Yeah. And that is all from me today.